Hey, howdy and welcome. So glad to have you. I'm Mike, your board gaming every dude, and we are going to check out some of the best solo games and see if maybe there's one here that's right for you. And by the very end, we're going to pick one that stands out as the top solo game. So let's go right through them. Let's start out with Mouse, Cheese, Cat, Cucumber. Super cool game where you build a maze, and there are many different variants for solo mode. I think there's 4 variants, correct me if I'm wrong, where you try to build a maze and solve some sort of a mystery or do an escape from a bomb. Super cool, enjoyed it, played it about 5 or 6 times now. Box says it plays in 15 minutes. It takes me 30 minutes to an hour for each play. It's a card game. Then we've got Walking in Burano, and these are all games that I've played in October. Going to go through these fast for you. Alright, so Walking in Burano. This is another card game where you are actually building, you're renovating the streets of Burano. It kind of looks like something you would see like in an app type of game as far as the artwork goes. Absolutely beautiful. Definitely plenty of levels of difficulty for solo. It wasn't my favorite one, but I think if you're someone who likes app games on your phone, then this is for you because it's very similar. Alright, we've got Big Easy Busking. Look at these colors. These are some beautiful colors. And this is where you are tipping street musicians in order to dominate street presence. So this would be called an area control game. And an area control game, if you're familiar with it, or if you're not, an area control game is just where you have the most influence. In this game, it's wooden cubes, the most wooden cubes on a particular street where your band is playing. So when you're playing the solo mode, you're playing against a robot music band, like a Chuck E. Cheese band or something in the streets of New Orleans. And you get to pick the different songs that you play, and each different street has like a different mood. So some street sections, they're looking for romantic music, and in another section, they're looking for, something wild, like a party or something. And so you try to appease the different types and dominate each street. So this is actually one that I played quite a few times, 7 or 8 times. Really enjoyed that one. Let's see, we've got Surrealist. Now this does not come with the solo mode, Surrealist Dinner Party, but I made one. And if you'd be interested in playing this solo, please let me know, give me a like, let me know in the comments that you would like that, and I'll be glad to make a video of the solo mode that I created. I loved it. This game is so cool. It's such a cool idea. You are inviting different surrealist artists over for dinner and tea and such, and so you're preparing a multi-course meal that starts with your hors d'oeuvres and maybe some wine, and then you go to your main course, and then some more drinks, and then dessert at the end. And you are just trying to have basically have your guests be the most satisfied at the table. And it's got like this beautiful metal serving dish. So I thoroughly enjoyed this. Loved this. All right, Brussels 1897. This also did not come with the solo mode, so I have created a solo mode for that, and I do have a video. I'll post it in the comments below for it. It's a bit of an early, it was one of my first videos I made, so forgive the cheese level. I'll have to redo it. But this is awesome. So this is basically a card game, or I guess it's called a, what do they call that board? A modular board that's made up of cards. And what it is it's in 1897, obviously. I'm reading the back of the box. Art Nouveau is taking over the streets of Brussels as the World's Fair opens its doors. So you're trying to give the most impressive art display. You can do this through improving architecture, through collecting fine works of art, and through impressing nobles. So as you work through that, you can find yourself in jail as well, or some of your architects in jail if you maybe try to please the nobles too much. So super cool, beautiful game. Loved it. All right, Bristol 1350. This comes with the solo mode. This is kind of a cute little game, and it's weird to call it cute. You can see it's set up like a book, and you open it up. It's the reason I say it's weird to call it cute is look at that artwork. It's kind of scary, and it's because you're in Bristol 1350 during a plague, and you are riding in these little wooden carts trying to escape the city alive. But in your carts, when you're playing the solo mode, you have other other people from Bristol who are infected with the plague. And so you're hopping between carts, not knowing who's infected and who's not, trying to get out of the city without getting infected and without dying. Arm's getting tired there. Let's switch. I really enjoyed it solo. I feel like I would enjoy this most multiplayer. So I feel like I'm missing out a little on the solo. Not that, I mean, the solo mode is made wonderfully. I would buy it just for the solo mode. But I feel like I need to play it with people to really, really enjoy it. So, super cool. Let's move there. The King is Dead. This did not come with the solo mode. However, there's a fan-made solo mode, and I'll put the link to that in the description below. And this is a special game. It's not usually my type. This is area control as well, where you are trying to place the most tokens on any given territory in the United Kingdom on the premise that the king has died, and so there are these three, I believe maybe it's three or four different factions that are then trying to take over the UK. You are trying to not play as one of them, but trying to decide which one. And in the meantime, France is trying to invade. So, solo, this is hard. I haven't beat it yet. I haven't won once. It is super hard. So if you play this solo mode, you are in for a challenge. If you like chess, I think this is up your alley for that. All right. Kill Shakespeare. Kill Shakespeare. Kill Shakespeare does not come with a solo mode. It comes with a fan-made solo mode. And I want to say they did a wonderful job. I'll put the link to it in the description below. Here's my problem. The premise of the game, the components were not good enough quality to me. To me, they could have done better as far as the components go. Some of the paper or cardboard components would have been better as wooden cubes. But anyway, my issue is there's way too much to keep track of. And that's not just the fan-made solo mode. That's the base game, actually. The solo mode does its best job to take care of that. But there is way too much accounting. So I actually did not end up... I spent about a week learning it. And it's not a heavy game. It's just a fiddly game. There's so much to keep track. I still recommend... I mean... If you like the idea of this, it's a really good game. If you can handle the fiddliness, I cannot. So that was that, yes. All right. Biblios does not come with a solo mode, I know. However, there's a fan-made one, and I'll put that in the description below. And so this is an auction bidding game, and that's hard to do solo. So the fan-made does an excellent job of altering the game so that you can still have a quick, you're talking about 10 minutes, 15 minutes per game when you do the solo mode. I like the theme enough, that I'll keep playing it from time to time. I do still feel like it shines best as multiplayer. I would not buy this only for solo. But I love the theme so much that I bought it just for solo, and I don't regret it, but I wouldn't recommend that for someone else. But if you can play it multiplayer, and you want to play solo too, it's cool. It's simple, it's fast, it's fun. I don't know if I can open it up. Oh, making a mess. Yeah, it's like a book. All right. And I forgot to tell you what it's about. Oh my goodness, and I made a mess. The cards came out. We may as well see it. Big giant cubes, big giant cubes. So you are playing in like a monastery kind of thing. I'll just read the back. Head of a monastery. See, I was right. During the Middle Ages, you compete against other monasteries to become the one with the most wonderful library. And that's why I think it's cool. Any game about a library, I'm down. More books. Hardback. does come with the solo mode. I'd like to make a video on this in the future and title it, "If you like Scrabble, play this instead." It's like a super cool version of Scrabble where you are an author and you are, and if you need if you need all the designer names, maybe I'll run through them at the end of this video, or I'll link them. We'll see. Okay, but anyway, you are an author writing books, and you're trying to appeal to different genres. So if you focus on a certain genre, like romance, then focusing on that genre, you get more points. But basically, what you're doing, if you've ever seen these phone apps where you have a cluster of letters and you try to make a word, that's how this works. There's a bunch of cards laid out in front of you, 6 different letters, and you try to make a word out of it, and you get more points the bigger the word. But each letter might also have special characteristics, so it'll be a bonus if you are specializing in romance or in horror or something like that. So there's all kinds of fun little bonuses, and you can purchase certain types of letters with special abilities. So basically it's a spelling game, if you like that, but it's very cleverly done. So there you go. It's not actually one of my favorite, but not in any reason due to the design. It's a magnificently made solo game. Sweetlandia. Super cute. Bidding game. Doesn't come with a solo mode, so I created one. If you're interested in playing Sweetlandia solo and you'd like to see mine, give me a like, and in the comments below just let me know, and I'll be glad to make a video of my solo mode. So this is similar to Biblios, where it's an auction game, so you are trying to build up the town of Sweetlandia in order to make it the most appealing by purchasing different real estate, different candy land type properties, and you're just trying to have the most impressive estate. That's it. But it's just a bidding game, and it was so much fun. All right, Campy Creatures, back to you. Keymaster Games, designed by somebody. Where are you? Who are you? Make it easy. Thank you, Maddox Schuler. All right, Campy Creatures. You are actually playing a mad scientist who's trying to capture innocent people. It's actually very sad. And you send out campy creatures, monsters, that we all know, like, King Kong and Swamp Thing and Aliens and Elvira, I think, or Vampira, I'm not sure, in order to capture them for experiments. That part's kind of sad. However, doesn't come with a solo mode. No, it doesn't. What's wrong with people? But that's okay, because it's not the type of game that lends itself to a solo mode, as it is a hidden bid game similar to Sweetlandia. But there is a very good fan-made mode, and I'll put a link to that below. And this was so fun. So fun. I played it 4 or 5 times. Fire in the Library comes with the solo mode. This is a neat idea. So it's a card game. As you can see, it's set up like a book. And just look at that art right there. Really beautiful. So the idea is basically that there is this library, and it catches fire, and it holds all the world's knowledge, and all the knowledge is going to be lost unless you get it out of the library before it burns down. So it's a race against time, where you're turning over cards, revealing whether or not there is fire coming. So it's a push your luck. Like, you can run in the library, rescue some books, and then you can decide, am I going to risk going back in to get more books? But if I go back in to get more books and a fire catches in my area, I lose everything. So it's a push your luck type mechanic. And the solo mode is very well done. Not a huge learning curve. Took a little while to learn, but you can scale it for very easy or very hard. So loved it. Tony Miller and John Prather. I thought it definitely deserved a better rating than whatever it got on Board Game Geek. But I don't tend to go by Board Game Geek ratings, because sometimes it's in the ballpark, but I just don't usually agree. All right, Grand Austria Hotel. Guess what? Doesn't come with a solo mode. But there's a fan-made solo mode that actually ended up getting a part of the reprint of this. If you joined the Kickstarter, then you got that solo mode with the printed cards. So I will put the link for this solo mode, and you can have your own cards printed out. So in this game, you are trying to attract the best guests for your hotel to become the most prominent hotel, which also includes having fine dining and making sure that guests get to the best rooms. I love this. This solo mode was done fantastically. This dude, they need to package it as part of the game. It is that well done, and it's a shame that it's not in there. When they finish this Kickstarter reprint of the deluxe, they better include that. My thoughts. Lookout Games, designed by Simone Luciani and Virginio Gigli. Super cool. And then we've got Dune is hot right now, you know, with the movie just coming out. So we've got more than one Dune game. But this I played Dune House Secrets. And this is by Portal Games, designed by Ignacy Cevicek and possibly someone else. And Przemysław Reimer, Weronika Spira, and Jakub Orowski. Forgive me, I'm doing my best. Anyway, so this is a story game based on another board game called Detective by Portal Games, where it's like a choose your own adventure style thing. And forgive me if there's not a better comparison, but that's what I see. So solo mode, what you're doing is you are playing after the events of the movie. So watch the movie, and then afterward you are playing a side character that actually continues the story from the movie. So that part is pretty cool. And there's a lot of story here. Well, what it is it starts out that you are a member of a rebellion against an evil empire, so I don't give away any spoilers if you haven't seen the movie. And as part of that rebellion, you are sent basically to redeem yourself to some pretty bad mistakes you've made in the past. Part of that is to go to a town and solve a murder, figure out what happened. So this is Dune Murder Mystery. And as you try to solve that murder, you end up finding out more secrets about each of the different houses featured in this particular Dune game. My small disappointment was I wanted a little more game. The story is fantastic. Super cool. If you like, you're going to be doing a lot of reading and handwriting on notes. If you like that, then this is for you. If you do not like that, because it's almost entirely reading, then it's not for you. But there is still gameplay where you get to decide whether to do this or do that, take a risk or play it safe. And there are consequences, and you do gain experience. And if you gain experience, you do get to level up certain abilities. There's a prologue in 3 chapters, and there is a sequel coming. I believe it's a part of a trilogy, so there are 2 sequels coming. So I enjoyed it. However, I do feel solo it was lacking. I think it would be much more enjoyable as 2-player if you're both really into it. But I liked it enough that I played the whole thing, and I will play the sequels. So, yep. And finally, I played this month Wingspan, which I put a couple videos about Wingspan, an overview, as well as my very first live playthrough. Wingspan is designed by Elizabeth Hargrave. This took the world by storm. It's a very unique game. Beautiful artwork by, there are 3 names here. This part's hard. Natalia Rojas, Ana Maria Martinez Jaramillo, and Beth Sobel. Forgive me. But anyway, it sounds, if you're like me, it sounds boring. You're building a habitat filled with birds that lay eggs and you feed them. But it's so well done. This is so fun. Oh my goodness. Just watch my videos on it. It's a super enjoyable game. All right, so the solo mode, it's by Stonemaier Games. They do Automa Factory. Their solo modes are outstanding. I never worry about their solo modes. So, if any of those are appealing to you, by all means, check it out at your local game store. Pick it up. But which one of these is the best solo game? Well, let's start it out with the runner-up of this bunch. The runner-up is actually a fan-made. Grand Austria Hotel. The solo mode for this is incredible. However, if you are a new gamer or if you are new to solo gaming, this is not the one for you. This is not a heavy game, but there is a lot to learn and a lot going on. I'm afraid if you're new, this will scare you away. So if you're a new, please don't. But if you're a seasoned solo player, if you like Rococo, this is awesome. The artwork is not the best. The components are, I feel, cheap. The cards are flimsy. However, it still worked. I was still happy with it. So yeah, that's the runner-up. As far as the best solo game here, and I'm going to consider this for newcomers to the hobby in general and newcomers to solo, it's going to be Wingspan, and that's because of design. This, you can use a starting card that's like a tutorial to walk you through your first 4 turns. So you can, it's not an open a box campaign, like you can just open the box and play, but you can open the box, follow the setup instructions, follow the first 4 turns on the card and play, and then just consult the rules as you need. So this is by no means the easiest game to start for solo, but it's easy enough that you can do it. So there's the winner. If you would like to purchase Wingspan, then I will put an affiliate link below. You can also pick it up from your local game store. I hope this was helpful. I hope you found something here that interests you to try out later. I will see you all soon. Check out my linked video right here for the Wingspan overview. And that's it. I love you all. I'll see you next time.